It is on the 17th of April 2024 where it seems that a Pandora's box was opened. So there are three scenes that Witness A unpacks. There's one that is a house in Q. There is the murder scene in Bramley to which Witness A was initially called to. And then there is the murder scene in Vereeniging where Armand Swart was killed. It was on that morning of the 17th of April 2024 where Witness A, who is a detective in the organized crime unit, was called to a scene in Bramley. It is there where three suspects were apprehended, and a part of those suspects include a now former senior police officer, Michael Paul Dawu, one Diego Floyd Mabusela, who is an alleged hitman, and a third man who was not named because there was later not enough evidence to link them to the crime. Now that is the Bramley scene, but later Witness A goes off to the Vaal where they go and investigate the scene where Armand Swart was murdered. And the reason for this is because at the scene in Bramley, they retrieved 15 cartridges, which were then linked to several other crimes, including that of Armand Swart. Now, the issue of Swart then becomes this Pandora's box because it is there when the detectives start investigating where they get messages between this senior police officer, Michael Paul Tau, and Katiso KT Mulefe, who is also then linked to other crimes such as DJ Somebody and DJ Vintos. Now, it is during the investigation stage that Witness A alleges he received a call from Major General Richard Shibiri saying that he'd like to meet with himself and Witness B, who's yet to come, and that this matter regarding the investigation cannot be discussed over the phone. It is at that gathering that Witness A says a conversation around 3 envelopes then ensued. Now, you'll recall that Mkhwanazi also mentioned these 3 envelopes, that there was one that was bound for a magistrate, one that would go to a prosecutor, and then another one for them as the investigating team. So Witness A corroborating Mkhwanazi's testimony and discussing and telling this commission how that gathering unfolded. Listen to this.
He termed it as there were 3 envelopes flying around that were on offer for the suspects to get bail. He said one envelope will be for the investigating officers, the other one will be for the magistrate, the last one will be for the prosecutor. And then by envelopes, we understood him to mean money, even though he didn't say money, but he said there is 3 envelopes flying around to make sure that these people get paid.
Now, Witness A, when you say General Shibiri, when General Mkhwanazi testified, he spoke to a senior person who informed the investigators that there were 3 envelopes. Was he referring to, do you know if he was referring to General Shibiri?
Yes, my understanding is that he was referring to General Shibiri because in this investigation, when you take the mentioning of 3 envelopes, it only appeared in the meeting that we had with General Shibiri. And by the way, we reported it to our commanders.
Witness A then goes on to unpack what he believes was the motive behind Major General Richard Shibiri's actions.
I would not expect our senior to even have this conversation with us, but if he was going to, it would be to advise us not to take any bribes that we may be offered in exchange of compromising the investigation. He did not do so. In my view, even though he did not expressly say so, I left that meeting feeling that General Shibiri was firstly trying to find out what evidence we had that linked the suspects to the murder and how strong our case was at the time. And secondly, to bait us to see if we could be influenced, hence the reference to the envelopes being available. It seems to me that if we were not agreeable to take the envelopes, which was indeed the case, then technically he did not offer us a bribe.
But witness A didn't just end there. He also told the commissioners of a story of a party that he had attended, invited through his colleague witness B to attend a party on a White House on the Hill in Northcliffe. It's a boutique hotel that they were invited to by one Vusi Ndlala. This is a new character that witness A introduces to this particular story that he unpacked. He says that Ndlala, who is someone who would often come to the office and assist with investigations, but wasn't clear about what their role is because Ndlala is not a police officer. But it is at this White House on a Hill in Northcliffe where a party was held, and to his surprise, he also again found Major General Richard Shibiri at that particular party. And then Shibiri goes on to say, well, actually, do you know who else is here? And then it was there that there were other two senior police officers that were at that party. I want you to listen to this.
Now, the colleague called me at around 21:30 that evening and told me that, and asked me to guess who else is in attendance. Then I said, I don't know because I'm not there. And then he counted to me the people that were in attendance. And then to my surprise, General Shibiri has been now joined by two senior officers at the very same party, which was Gauteng Provisional Commissioner, Lieutenant General Tombeni, and Brigadier Ngcobo, who is a Deputy Commissioner at Setibeni District section in the Vaal.
So the character of Vusi Ndlala becomes even more curious because he is the one person that witness A claims would consistently try and have him stop and drop the investigation into the murder of Armand Swart, constantly telling him how dangerous this case would be. But it was also Vusi Ndlala who would then preempt that one Michael Puletau, a senior police officer at the time at Joburg Central, he would be released on bail. And lo and behold, Dawu made an application before the High Court that he needs to be released on bail because of a medical condition. He cited diabetes. And thereafter, when Dawu was released, there was a phone call between Ndlala and Witness A, and this is where Witness A says he became increasingly concerned about how this Vusi Ndlala would have known that Michael Puletau would be released on bail. So this speaks to the allegations of the capture of the judiciary and those who form part of the processes. So this is where the testimony of Witness A on Monday ended, and when we pick up tomorrow, there is the aspect of how at night, when one evening randomly then there were 5 police officers without prior knowledge that arrived at his home claiming to come and provide that 24-hour protection that was due to them.